Hello everyone, it's Sheila, back again. I have just picked up my knitting. I did a little bit crochet this morning and then I had a little bit shopping to do because I had to go out and get a birthday card. It's for my friend's birthday on Monday, so I had to get a card for her today and post it today to make sure she got it for Monday. You know, with this post thing, you never know when you're getting things. I hope she gets it on Monday. But anyway, I was at my bingo last night and I didn't win, but my friend won again. Now I'm going to tell you a little thing before I tell you what we won. I went to my sister's last night. I got to my sister's about 6:30. I left home just before 6 o'clock. I usually pick my friend up at 7:20, so I was taking the little crochet pouch I had done for my sister. I was taking it up to her, and it's a long time since I've been up that to my sister's, you know, and I wasn't sure about the wheel where I put my sat nav on. And I come to I think the sat nav took me a different way to what I'd been before. But I was following the sat nav and it said, come to a certain place and said to turn left. So the next left I saw this opening that looked like a road. So I went up, it was somebody's drive. And it was a big drive. There was 3 cars parked in that driveway and there was quite a good space between each car. So I thought, oh, I'll just have to pull in here and turn around, you know, and come back out again. But you know, it was very narrow. Behind those cars was a short space and there was a fence. So I pulled into one of the spaces, and as I'm trying to come out, I couldn't get away from the 2 cars on the other side to go straight out to turn around. So I was having to go back forward a little bit and back a little bit more, a bit forward. I was nearly on the doorstep at the finish. It took me about 20 turns to get out of that. I couldn't just back out the way I had come in because it was a busy road, you know, and there was a lot of cars coming past. Actually, I had to wait. When I did finally manage to get turned around, I had to wait for there was quite a few cars coming down, so I couldn't have backed out. But I'm thinking to myself, I hope them people in there are not watching me trying to get out of here. They'll be in fits, won't they? But anyway, I got out and I got to my sister's and we had a good chat, and I kept telling my sister, you know, I've got to go. I said, I've got to pick my friend up at 7:20. So I left myself about 10 minutes. I thought that's plenty time for the... And I thought I better put my sat nav back on because I'm going back a different way to get to the road that runs down for where my friend lives down there. And I know when I come out that I come to there's a pub called the 3 Tons, and I knew I had to turn right when I got to there, but I thought I'll put the sat nav on there. But you know those sat nav things, they take you what way they think's best, but it's not always the shortest way. So I'm driving down and I suddenly realised I had passed the 3 Tons. And I thought, oh, I've missed that turning right, that would have taken... It's just one, it's a very long road, but it's a straight road that goes down from a place called Throckley down to Blutcher, where I picked my friend up. So I thought, oh, I'm just going to have to follow the sat nav. It'll take us the way where it took us. The way it took me, the slip road that I came off was away from where my friend lived. So I had to go around the island and up another slip road to get up to where she was going. So it was quite late by the time. So instead of 7:20 that I normally pick her up, I think it was nearly 7:25 actually. And she's coming, she said, where you been? I said, I told you I was going to my sister's. She says, oh, we'll not be able to get the, we like to get a little bit early for some of the tickets and things, ready to get on the domino card. If you don't get there soon enough, there's no numbers left, you can't get on. Then we have another a thing called the last number game, and we get a book when we start playing the bingo. We get a book of 6, and on the very last game, we get these little cards, and it has a number on, and if you have the number that the bingo's called on, you win some money on that. Well, we couldn't get that either because there wasn't any left by the time we got there. She was couldn't quite a huff, my friend, because we didn't get there in time for those, but we did. We were in time for they have a key draw where you win quite a bit, and then you can pick a number, the key, one of the boxes, and we have quite a lot of numbers. I think it goes up to about 30 numbers, and if you pick the right number, there's a chance of winning about £1,500 in that key draw thing. We managed, we were okay for that. So when we were playing the games and that, like I'm saying, I never won anything, but my friend won the key draw. And there was £177, I think, in something in the key draw, and I think we had 29 numbers to pick from, and she picked number 9. No, she picked number 19. And it was number 9 that came up, so we didn't win the thing. But then all the time we'd be going there, that's the first time any of us have gotten that key draw number. So I was very lucky. But she was still moaning, and I says, Anne, if I'd been early, the normal time, you wouldn't have got that ticket that got the key draw. Shut up. And she suddenly dawned on her, yeah, if I'd been early, she wouldn't have won that money because she wouldn't have had that same ticket. Somebody else would have had it that came in after us. But anyway, that was a nice little win. We had, I forget, half of £177 each. We just split it and put it in my purse. I'm not sure how much exactly. It was over £80. So that was a good win for that night anyway. But I'm seeing it might be my turn to win one of these days. It always seems to be my friend that's winning. If I win, it's a £5 line. But anyway, I'm knitting this. That's how far I've got with that. I think I'm nearly up to the armholes. I want my tape measures in the other room. I'm nearly up to the armholes on that, and I'll see. Actually, I'm just going to carry on knitting and see what it actually measures when I get it off the needles and that, because I think it's going to be far too big for the little 3.5-year-old that it's going to. But I did some of my own knitting last night, and I've actually got the sleeve finished. That's one sleeve finished on the sweater I'm doing for myself. So I have one more sleeve to do, and then I'll be able to sew it all up and put it all together, and you'll be able to see the finished thing. It's a long time coming, this one. I've got another one in the bag that's even longer coming. But I was doing some crochet this morning. I'm doing one of those little bags that I do. I'm doing this one for my friend. It's for her birthday, but she doesn't know I'm doing it, so she'll not get it next Thursday anyway. But I started using 3 strands. I've got all the wool down here. Some white, some grey, and some like a beige, natural beige colour. So I'm mixing those 3 together, doing it like chunky. So I'm using 10mm hook on it. It's a 10mm, I think. Yes, I'm using a 10mm hook on it. It'll get done quicker that way. But I was having a lot of trouble with my wrist trying to crochet, and I started doing this first thing this morning. My wrist was really hurting really bad, and it seems to be okay when I'm knitting. It does, you know, ache a little bit when I'm knitting, but not like when I'm crocheting. So I thought to myself, I wonder if I take a couple of ibuprofen and 1 paracetamol. I put those 3. I was told by a nurse one time you get better effect if you put a paracetamol with 2 ibuprofen. It lasts longer. So that's what I did. I took that this morning. I gave it a little while before I picked it up again. I was doing 1 or 2 other things, and then it's amazing what a difference it makes, because it must be the trouble I'm having with my wrist. It must be inflammation, because the ibuprofens took the inflammation down, and I can crochet no trouble at all with taking that. And I took them about 10 o'clock this morning, 10:30, and it's still all right, and it's now 4:45, so it's lasted quite a long time. But I know I've taken ibuprofen before by itself and it doesn't last very long. But this time it has. I can crochet and twisting my wrist where I'm doing, and it's no trouble. So I know if I'm going to crochet anything, that's what I'm going to have to do for the length of time that I'm crocheting. Just take a couple of ibuprofen and paracetamol. It must be the paracetamol that affects with the ibuprofen, must make it last longer. I know it was one of those nurses that this, when my husband was ill, she used to come to the house and that, and she told him, you know, sometimes when the pain he was in, that worked better than just taking a couple of paracetamol or a couple of ibuprofen. And I'd forgotten about that until I tried it till today, and it's amazing. It's amazing what it does. My wrist just feels normal. I was having trouble even when I was out shopping, and I had to press the button in on the back of my car for to open the boot to put the shopping in. This was the other day, not today, it was the other day, and I just couldn't press the button in. It was too painful in my hand. It was affecting the whole thing down my thumb, right down to my wrist and that. And of course I was using the thumb to press the button in on the car, and there was a fella and his wife, and they come to the car next to me, and I had to ask him to press the button in on the must have thought I was a bit loopy, you know, asking him to press the button in on the boot so I could get into the boot in the car. But I'm glad I remembered that, because it makes a big difference to what I can do. But when I finished the sleeve on that, I've been doing this the last couple of nights. It gets to about 10 o'clock, because I don't go to bed before midnight. Sometimes it's about 1 o'clock. And I thought, it doesn't matter what I'm doing of a night time, knitting, crochet, whatever, it all stops, and I'm knitting my own from 10 o'clock until the time I go to bed. That's how I managed to get that finished. So I'm going to be starting later on tonight. I'll be starting the other sleeve and getting that one done, because that's all I have to do. 1 more sleeve. Even the other bits are all sewn up. I just have to put the sleeves, set the sleeves in when it's done. So I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to do a bit of that knitting for that cardigan for Dagry's little granddaughter. So that's just a little bit for today. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.